Hi everybody, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Now this is Dalaran as it exists on the live servers at the moment in Crystal Songwood's North End. But when the new World of Warcraft expansion Legion hits at some point next year, it's actually going to shift its location, without shifting its location, don't think about it too much, over to the Broken Isles and will once again act as a joint faction hub for both the Horde and the Alliance. But because technology has significantly improved since Wrath of the Lich King, it's going to retain its familiar look, but there's going to be some nice little tweaks which are just going to elevate it into this new age. So let's have a look at a regular street on the live servers of Dalaran at the moment. Pay particular attention to these areas: the paving stones, the bottom of the staircase, the cobblestones in the road, outside of the shop fronts, and finally the pedestals at the back, at the bottom of that staircase. So if we hit the alpha servers, the paving stones are now a lot more condensed, so there's more pixels being used here. Also looks like a larger colour palette and more texturing going on as well. The staircase has a pedestal at the bottom of it with a little light on the top. The cobblestones, a lot more condensed, giving that compact feel. Outside of the shop fronts, they've now got a grate outside of each of them where they'll collect rainwater and be dragged down into the sewers or thrown away the wastewater. And finally, those two pedestals at the bottom of the distant staircase also has had a makeover. Now, I shot the footage for the streets on top of the well right here, and this is the one on the live servers. If I was to jump on over to the alpha again, just look how much colour got injected into the screen. It's unbelievable. On top of that, the well itself has been completely redesigned and looks a lot more grandiose, although it's still under construction. Back on the live servers, let's head down one of the side streets, and this was the forge where miners could go with their ore and smelt it down into various bars. But look at the exact same place on the Legion Alpha servers. It's crazy. We've got this, what's called an Obliteration forge or something like that. What is going to happen here is you can take your crafted gear, unwanted crafted gear probably, and you can smash it down, obliterate it in effect, and it'll give you something like Obliterator, which is going to be a new crafting material which could probably use to pimp up other items which you want to keep. But it's something along those general guidelines. But my god, let's bring it back to the live servers, shall we? And I'm not going to go into every single profession building, but let's use the blacksmithing one as an example of change. This is it live, this is it on the alpha. Again, just the detail which has been added all the way from the shading, texturing, to the new forge on the wall, the decorations which are now around the place, just things like that which a lot of people might actually miss, but the more observant people will absolutely 100% pick up on, and it does make it feel more lived in. Now, we've been above ground for a while, so let's go into the underbelly, see what I did there, of the beast, and this is on the live servers once again. We go through the entranceway, let's just stop at the ramp here, and what have we got in front of us? Well, there's this stream of oily liquid that you can see going all the way through to the back, where it will go through one of the grates and away. On the left hand side and the right hand side, there's a few wooden boxes. Other than that, not too much. Cobwebs and the odd person standing around. To the left, there's a hole in the wall which we can go through, and it brings us to this area. We've got some buildings in front of us, and then if I was to look behind, we've got the PvP stuff, and then to the right there, you can see the tunnels which lead on through to another area. Once more, things are completely different on Alpha. So using the exact same way that I got in before, you'll notice some significant lighting changes immediately. The rampway has turned into a staircase, but there has been quite a few changes even in this area. Where the oily stream of water went right through to the end, we now see a paved bridge going over. There's also a brand new tunnel to the left and some wooden buildings to the right hand side. A lot more torches around the place that give it that atmospheric lighting effect. And then down at the bottom here, where the PvP vendors were, they're all gone. There's quite a bit of questing which goes on here, especially for the Warlocks as well. The areas which took you through to the other place, all grated off. Why? Because rogue order halls, that's why. And that little white rat at the end there, that's actually a rare elite that will kick your ass, just FYI. And then at the top here, we still see some of the buildings, but if you look carefully, the bigger building in front of us actually says temporary building. So that's going to go. That's going to become something else. But I'm not going to leave here straight away. I want to show you something else. So let's go up this other new staircase, which is right before us, and head on over to where the vendors were, because they have also changed quite a lot. Are you beginning to see what's materializing in front of you? Yes, it's Madame Goya and her black market auction house. At last, she's somewhere that's a little bit more accessible than the middle of nowhere like she was in WoD. Also, what's rather interesting here is to the left, there's like a demon hunter vendor, and they're kind of going under the banner of weapons and secrets, which is very intriguing indeed. And then over here we have somebody that deals with mysteries. It's all kind of, what is going on here? Are they going to be like quartermaster vendors, or are they going to be utilized for other things? But the underbelly getting a big change. Oh, but before I am done with the place, those people that are thinking, but that grate that's open around the back on the live servers that will allow me to sneak into the rogue order halls and and I'll see what they're being able to get up with. No, not going to happen, because when you go to the alpha servers, although the grate still shows on the left hand side, a brand new one has been fixed in place to keep non-rogues out. And rightly so, it's their private parts for them to do with what they want. So let's nip back to the live servers, and I'm heading on over to Crassus Landing, where your flight paths will come to an end. Pay particular attention to this tower right here and the end of the flight path area there, because when we jump onto the alpha version, you can see that things haven't quite gone according to plan here. That tower that I told you to keep an eye on has come crashing down, and the edge of the flight path area has just been absolutely annihilated. The rubble actually creates a nice little ramp that allows you to ride down or run down, and then you can actually go around the circumference of Dalaran itself. And then that green light that you can see in the distance, that is coming from the top of the tomb of Sargeras. But considerable differences in light. And before anyone says, well, yeah, but you film one during the daytime and one during the nighttime, not true. They've both been filmed in daylight. So this is just the complete change of how the atmosphere of Dalaran feels come Legion. So, with that in mind, that these have both been recorded at similar times of the day, I'm going to take you on over to the Violet Hold, because this is one area which is getting a revamp, in as much as this is becoming a level 110 dungeon, where we're going to go inside and fight new creatures that are hidden away. But if I flick on over to the alpha servers, again, you can just see significant changes in lighting, textures, colour palette, saturation, the whole job lot, which gives it a much more authentic, lived-in feel. So subtle, but at the same time, very, very effective indeed. So you can clearly, by looking at these little changes and nuances, challenge somebody that dare turn around and say to you, it's just the same as the old one, isn't it? No, it's not. Not at all. But what tour of Dalaran would be complete without a trip to the Violet Citadel? This is the live staircase leading to it. This is the alpha staircase. Now, I don't know if this is Jaina Proudmoore's leftovers or what, but this torture device just hanging down on the stairs, I think somebody needs to remove that pretty sharply. So let's just turn around and continue our journey indoors, I feel. So once inside, we have something a little bit odd here. This is live, and you can see Ronin stood next to Varisa with a couple of other mages around him. this doesn't actually work because Ronin was killed during the Tides of War book between expansions, so he really shouldn't technically be here. And yes, those kind of time issues have been corrected when Dalaran moves across to the Broken Isles, because instead we have Khadgar and crew in their place. And also, just look at the incredible lighting difference inside here compared to the live version, really bringing out the colours of the banners. And there you go, that's it. Those are the... what? Sorry? Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. There is just one other slight tinsy-winsy change to Dalaran, which you've yet to see. Remember that statue of Tyrion Fordring, which lies slap bang in the middle of Dalaran, a momentum to our fantastic victory over Arthas the Lich King in the Wrath of the Lich King expansion? Well, that's kind of gone. I mean, not kind of gone, it's completely gone. And instead, we have this humongous tower in its place. I mean, it's pretty spectacularly big. Also, you notice it has a slightly different aesthetic to it as well. Far more of an Eastern vibe than the rest of Dalaran, although that does very much have a kind of Eastern aesthetic to it. Again, much more curved archways and stuff like that. So what do you do here? Well, if you walk into the middle of the room, you actually get teleported to the top of the tower itself, and it's rather a large room here. Some great lighting, awesome chandelier, but more importantly for players, a couple of areas to explore. To the left, there is a room that's complete and utterly full of books, and not just full of books, but books wandering around the place. You can't help but feel that something is going to happen here. There's either going to be quartermasters or maybe some questing to pick up, but it just seems that to be conspicuous there if it was to just be remained and left on its own, particularly when you look at the room across the way, because although there's no dancing books, we have almost a circle of floating candles. To me, that kind of screams either we're teleporting out of here or into here, or maybe there's going to be a portal added at a later date. And the reason why I say that is portals play a very big role here. Let's go back to the top of the staircase and head on down. We've still got some plinths that need to be textured. That's no problem. That'll take only a few moments. But down at the bottom, there's a meeting stone, which you can't interact with, and some portals. The Caverns of Time, Shatrath, Karazhan, Old School Dalaran. Yes, the one that's in the Eastern Kingdoms. And sneakily behind also one to the Worm Rest Temple. These seem to be portals which help you with your artifact quest lines. So yes, Dalaran has undergone a significant, if subtle, change. And not everything has to be as grandiose as the huge tower which has replaced the statue of Tyrion. If the textures are changed, the lighting, the number of pixels, it can have that great little feel which drags Dalaran out of Wrath of the Lich King and very much firmly into the next expansion to come, Legion. So I hope you enjoyed the vid, but before I go, I need to give a huge thank you to my channel sponsor, Yaktronics. Yaktronics are a PC peripheral company that deal with customized mice, keypads, as well as headsets. And with up to 20% off the RRP, plus if you use promotional code BABYFACE for an additional 7% off your order, now is the perfect time to pick yourself something up, especially with Christmas just around the corner. This is Last Chance Saloon. And any orders that are placed between now and Christmas Day, you'll get a Yaktronics sticker plus a 20% off your next order promotional code as well. So head on over to yaktronics.com. The link is in the description, as well as the promotional code for discounts, and grab yourself an absolute bargain. Pick up some HeelvsBabyface stuff. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Those links are also down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care, everybody. Bye-bye.